Hello, Luigi Mangione's case followers. This is Maje. This is your Tarotpolitan community host. And today we are going to look into the indictment and the coming federal hearing in couple of days, this Friday, 25th of April, 2025. So we are going to look into different things regarding what happened in the indictment, the charges, and the federal hearing. So let's get on by starting shuffling the cards. Okay, my friends, the opening. We have the Ace of Pentacles in the past, the Five of Pentacles in the future, and the Four of Swords in the present. This is more, the opening is showing more about the evidence. This is like, the Ace of Pentacles is almost like bringing the evidence, but the evidence has been suppressed. They have definitely been suppressed. And because they have been suppressed for so long, there is going to be repercussions. It's not looking good in the sense of the evidence. In either way, whether the defense get the evidence or whether the prosecution is putting those evidence forward, it doesn't look good. And the total number here is the number 10, which is represented by the Wheel of Fortune. So there could be an evolution, a progress with the thing, with the evidence. So this is what we have in the opening. And now let's focus on the jury that indicted, so a formal charge, a formal accusation to Luigi Mangione. For what I have read is between 12 and 23 members, because apparently in indictment hearing like that, is the charge is there, but the judge doesn't do anything. He's just present. And then the jury and the prosecution only, not the defense. And then they look secretly at the evidence put forward by the prosecution. And then it has to be at least 12 of those jury members who decide to indict the person according to what they have seen from the prosecution only. What I want to see is how was that balance. And what I'm going to do is did we have 23 jury members? We have 12. 12 will be the minimum, 23 will be the maximum. 18, something like that, will be like a normal number. So I'm gonna put all the cards, and with the pendulum, I'm gonna check how many jurors approximately. Look, here is showing very strong. Okay, there as well. Here, very strong. Here is the strongest. Yeah, here is the strongest. 7. Okay, we are going to look at 12 jurors just to see the energies of the jurors, what they have say, where there was a really big majority of jurors saying, yes, let's indict Luigi Mangione without possibility of bail, because obviously, you know, we have seen worse crimes than the assassination of Brian Thompson, and they have went the next day out on bail, and this didn't happen with Luigi Mangione. So, because I don't have a big number here, let's now look at 12 juries, what they say. Okay, this is 12 jurors. Let's see, let's put it this way so we can see. Okay, we have significantly more earth. What is significant to the evidence. Okay, let's get first the ones who are in doubt. Obviously, this Two of Swords is definitely in doubt. This Five of Cups is definitely not convinced. This Swords also, there is more questions about it. There is definitely more inquiring more. This person here needs more analysis. This person here needs to see more evidence, to see things more clearly. And then we have, let's say the ones with Earth, they are definitely looking at the evidence and seeing, yes, it could be him. This Emperor here is somebody powerful. And these two, I think they are quite powerful in the strength. So we have, let's say we have 7 out of 12, 7 yes, and 5 no's or maybes or no convinced. Yeah, 7 yes and 5 no's. It's quite balanced. It's quite balanced. If we have been 6, it will have been a stall. But if we have 7, 5, you know, it's quite significant that there is 5 out of 12 that they are definitely not convinced by the evidence. But there is absolutely 7 out of 12 that they say yes. So yes, so this passed, but it wasn't like a big, massive majority. If there is being, you know, like a massive, you know, 8, 10 out of 12, we will see, wow, the jury was super convinced about this, but we have 7 out of 12. What is a yes? There was a majority of people convinced, but it's not like a big, massive majority. I don't think so. But now, let's have a look at the charges. After the indictment, there was a conversation from a couple of lawyers that I watched, and many lawyers are saying that Luigi is overcharged. Let's see what the tarot says about that. It's not only that he has been overcharged. Look, the wall is here, and the wall is like everything, you know. But with the moon here and the 5 of Swords, this is not just overcharged, but there is a lot of lack of clarity and a push forward for a punishment that is not fair. Let's count: 18, 19, 20, 24, 34, 44, double 4, 8. Yes, everybody can feel whether you think Luigi Mangione did it or not. He has definitely been overcharged. This case has become very political, and I want to ask, what are the repercussions of this Make America Safe Again that they are doing against this case? Well, Make America Safe Again between brackets. Look, if we have the 9 of Wands, the 6 of Cups and the 6 of Swords, it's gonna have a repercussion, yes, but it's gonna have a repercussion with people that they are aligned to, let's say, the party or the ideologies that USA have now in power, in government. People who are aligned, and that's why this definitely gonna have an influence on the jury, yes, because now, you know, especially in recent decades, we have been more divided than ever. And I think it's gonna have a repercussion, absolutely, yes, unfortunately. But a repercussion on individuals who are aligned with these ideologies and these political views. Other people will see this as unfair and not representing the body of justice, where you are entitled to a defense and a fair trial. Now, the evidence, because now the prosecution cannot hide those evidence any longer. They have to pass it through to the defense. So what is going to happen with the evidence from the prosecution? The prosecution are definitely not having a very good time thinking that they have to pass those evidence. Why? They have been had pressure. I think the defense have been there. Where are the evidence? Where are the evidence? You talking on TV, on media, that you have all those evidence where they are. And now the pressure is becoming real. They don't have any other choice now. They have to put it, and they're having a hard time. I'm still believing that those evidence are not showing as confident, or the prosecution are not, let's say, confident of passing through those evidence to the defense. And now the defense. How is the defense reaction when those evidence are finally on the table? Clarity. Look, the Sun, the Empress, and the Page of Swords. There are going to be many evidence that are going to be suppressed, debunked, cut off, criticized. So by receiving the evidence, obviously the defense with the Empress and the Sun here are gonna feel more confident. There is finally more clarity. There is finally something that they can complain, criticize, cut off. 2022, and we have a double 2 Emperor. Yeah, I can see the defense more powerful. I saw a discussion between lawyers also saying about the prosecution have to prove that Brian Thompson knew that he was stalked and that he was stalked by Luigi Mangione. So how the prosecution see that part? Because they have charged Luigi Mangione with that, but this is kind of like, it doesn't make sense, because if, for example, Brian Thompson have received death threats or he knew that he has been stalked, why he was walking, you know, a person of his status or his class, why he was walking around without protection, why he was walking around. Then it's very difficult to prove that, but let's see what the prosecution are going to say about that. They know. Look, the 8 of Swords, this is insecurities. The 4 of Swords, this is what I saw in the opening. They have put certain things, certain evidence to sleep underneath something, and they're gonna have to prove it, but I don't see here that they can prove like that Brian Thompson knew that he was stalked by Luigi Mangione or by the shooter. It doesn't make sense. But let's see Brian Thompson. What Brian Thompson did he knew, because it doesn't seem that he was stalked by the shooter. We have 8 of Wands, 4 of Wands, Knight of Cups. Okay, he has definitely received threats, but he wasn't worried about it. I don't see him scared or worried or anything like that. Actually, more about maybe his children, more protection for his children and things like that. But I would say that Brian Thompson was going to a meeting, to meeting somebody, happy to meet that person. I think this was on a personal level, like a lover, like I think he was separated. I don't think he was divorced yet, but I think he was separated, maybe romantic sexual relationship. I think he was meeting somebody like that. I think this took Brian Thompson by surprise. I don't think he knew that somebody was stalking him. And now let's see the defense, what they're gonna make of the prosecution evidence that Brian Thompson knew that whether Luigi or a shooter was stalking him. Look, the Knight of Wands, the Chariot, and the Magician. I see the defense very strong, putting their statement very strong that these evidence are nothing to do with Luigi Mangione, or it's nothing to do with anything. I think that charge of stalking that the prosecution have put forward doesn't have anything to sustain. But let's see the result of that charge in particular. What could happen there? The Justice. Look, the 7 of Cups, it doesn't look real. It doesn't look tangible. It doesn't look something that the prosecution will prove. Not at all. With the 7 of Cups in the future, I don't think so at all. That they're trying to make noise with the 5 of Wands, yes, in front of the judge, the jury, the justice. That they're trying to make noise, yes, but it doesn't sustain on anything. Now, let's see what else we can look about the indictment. How Luigi felt about that indictment. Well, a bit angry, a bit at some moment he throw a tantrum, but or angry or like but he trusts his defense, and he understands that these charges, or many of those charges, are a bit of a gambling from the prosecution. The Wheel of Fortune, they are gambling something for the future. 10, 13. I think Luigi feels, and I think for the conversation he got with his defense, is almost like they're just trying to add up things for the death penalty. Because if the prosecution doesn't prove this, there is no death penalty case. And now let's ask about the death penalty. Does the death penalty sustain in the coming trials? What is happening with the death penalty? I don't think it's sustained. Look, oh my God. The Hierophant, the Devil, the Fool, all major arcana, this is a big issue at the moment. They're trying to push something forward. 15, 20, this will be analyzed. I don't think the way the charges for death penalty are not fair at all. They're trying to make a big thing out of this. But I don't think, look, with the Fool here, I don't think it can be sustained for death penalty. I don't think so. But they're gonna try hard because look, the Hierophant and the Devil, they're gonna try. They want the death penalty. This is a showbiz. This is for show. What else we can look? One thing I want to ask is the judge. The judge at the indictment process is present, but it doesn't do anything. But the judge must have an opinion. And looking at the card, I think that the judge feels the pressure of the death penalty. Definitely feels the pressure. That there is some evidence that it could look strong, but doesn't seem to be that strong as well. That they are trying to push higher up the death penalty as well. But then the judge, when he looks at Luigi or Luigi as an individual, Luigi doesn't have a criminal record. Luigi, it wasn't like he kidnapped. If he was Luigi, he's being charged of that. But doesn't seem even that, for example, the person who did kidnap Brian Thompson and torture him to death. It doesn't seem this kind of like Machiavellic kind of criminal situation. It's more like taking somebody by surprise and put them down. So, and also I think the judge is gonna look at Luigi's as this young male, well-educated, from a good family, who doesn't have criminal records, who doesn't have anything, being accused of this and being accused with the highest punishment. And the total number here is a 22, and a 22 for the emperor is also matched with the defense. So I think the judge, hopefully we have a partial judge. Now that we have covered all this, let's have a look at the hearing. The first question I'm gonna ask is, this hearing finally is gonna happen, or it will be postponed, delayed as the previous one? Oh, a lot of difficulties to happen. A lot of difficulties, but I'm 50-50 because we have the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is the duality. We are in between two worlds. Reality and perception, or perception and imagination. Here, this could be the defense or could be the prosecution actually. The prosecution, the hiding of information, the stress that all this, because this is information that has been hidden, that is not, I'm 50-50, it may happen, but it may be postponed as well. I've got the feeling that it may be postponed. So, if it's postponed, again, what are the reasons? Okay, we have another emperor here. Emperors got power. This is power behind the scenes, and this is the Luigi's defense. The information that has been hidden, expectation of the defense to celebrate something. If there is delays, it's because they feel that this will play. For example, going to the hearing now, it will help the defense. And I think that's why these delays. Otherwise, it doesn't make no sense whatsoever, because if you have compelling evidence, why so many cancellations and delays and all that? But now, let's see the energy, if it happened, let's see the energy of the hearing. Let's see the prosecution, money involved. They are worried about the defense. And let's see the defense. Here we have the King of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. And in the defense, we have the King of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, this hearing, if it happens, is going to be very interesting. One, because I see the prosecution. Once, because I see the prosecution, definitely very stressed about the physical, the tangible things. Very worried about that, and very worried about the defense. The defense is asking for things, is putting the defense very clearly out there. They are very worried about these things. And 4, 3, 10, the Wheel of Fortune, I see the prosecution gambling here. They are very worried, they are very nervous, and I think really those delays are because the trials could be, let's say, influenced by the defense. And now let's see the defense, the actual defense, what they think. They are really protecting Luigi. They are Luigi on Luigi. They believe Luigi. They believe what has been discussed with Luigi. They are a bit worried about all what had happened. The influence of the indictment, the influence of, you know, the Pennsylvania hearing is the last one they want to do. What it doesn't help, because probably if that hearing comes first, maybe the New York City and the state hearings, it may not happen at all. So the defense are really concerned, are really like, this is not good, this will not have a good influence on the jury. But they are certain now that they will get the evidence, that something will happen, something solid, something substantial will happen. And here, I think here we have 7, 4, 1 is 12. 12 is the hang one, is the delays, is the punishment, is all these things they are concerned about. I see the defense confident to go to the hearings because they know that once they get hands of the evidence, they can cut off or suppress evidence that they are not good enough. Now let's see how is Luigi appearing for this hearing. Okay, so we have an 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, and the Temperance. I see a Luigi very spiritual. I see a Luigi looking at everything, trying to, you know, probably discussing with the defense and everything, and looking at everything. But also is a Luigi that he's very active in his case. I don't see a Luigi dormant. I don't see a Luigi, I don't care. I see a Luigi very active and trusting with faith. This is having faith. This is a very spiritual card, the Temperance. So 10, 20, 24. Also Luigi is very confident of his support outside the courts. His support. I see a Luigi alive, let's say. Now, let's see after the hearing, if it happens, what the judge. Let's have a look at the judge. What the judge is going to make at this hearing if it happens. The judge is very aware of the delays, of the punishment. The judge are very aware that there is a lot of pressure from this case. Politically, corporative, class consciousness. There is a lot of factors that the jury is aware, the judge is aware of. Okay, there is a bit more of clarity on certain things, or the judge is aware of the expectations because of the delays and the pressures, definitely. And we have 17, 18, 20, 30, the Empress. The judge also is seeing that there has been delays, but it needs to be a process. It cannot just be delays and cancellations all the time. It needs to have a process. Now that we have looked at that, let's see if this hearing happens, what the media is going to say. The media want to influence the public opinion. This is people, and this is like a big tragedy. This should not happen. But the total number is the number 18, and normally in cases of justice or anything, the moon doesn't help here, because the moon is good for artists, for psychologists, for people who foresee the future. The moon is an inspiration. The moon brings a veil of information that is not rationalized. Obviously, the media is trying to have an influence on the public opinion and the potential juries that they will come to court at some point. And now let's see the public opinion after this hearing. 7, 7, 14, 15. Look, people are getting more upset and angry. And I would say that the support for Luigi is actually growing because more people are seeing where are the evidence, the accusation is too much, this is not fair, how Luigi is going to defend himself with all these accusations and all this evidence. Oh, and the total number is 15. 15 is the devil. People are not happy and satisfied with the progress of Luigi's case at all. And let's see, anything else about the indictment, the hearing? Let's see, the indictment. You know, the sensation I have from this indictment is even after the indictment happened that people are convinced about this indictment. This is taking too long. They should have started with Pennsylvania and they go into the federal. People are aware of that. People are just waiting. People are just waiting for the trials. This case is definitely getting shocking. I think the indictment has shocked many people. And now the federal hearing this Friday, 25th of April. A lot of people are gonna go. If it happens, there will be a lot of people there out there supporting Luigi. Okay, this is becoming a wild phenomenon. More people going there, traveling. 6, 10, 19. More clarity. I have a 50-50. 50 that is gonna happen, and if it's happened, let's see what are the results for Luigi. I'm still saying the same. This is all about the evidence, and they are very institutionalized, politically influenced. They are becoming weak and weak and weak as long as we go through this case. Let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions, as usual, you know, I read all your comments. I'll leave your lovely comments in the comment section. And let's see if it's 1 or 2 weeks, I think, depending on what happens in this hearing, I will do a reading just about question and answers for Luigi Mangione's case. On another note, we have reached 100 subscribers and our community is growing. I'm very happy about it, and I'm offering a free giveaway email reading up to 10 cards. So if you win, you will get an email reading from me. So this is for subscribers only, so subscribe if you want to participate, and go to our community post and sign up the winner's name on May's full moon. So please participate, write your message there, and thank you very much for watching, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing to this channel. You are 100 stars already. Thank you. Mwah.